Hey everybody, this is Doa, and this is Game 3 in the finals of LastPlayerStanding.com's Open Tournament number 2. We've got our current leader right now, 2-0 in this best of 5. It is FXOinori, formerly Inori Foyu, still a member of the Foyu clan. The Foyu clan still does exist in Korea, but the players that lived in the Foyu clan house and the Foyu team, I guess you could say, are now part of FXO. So it is FXOinori versus another Korean pro gamer, BbongBboongprime from the team, of course, Prime.we, spawning over on the right side of GSL Zelnaga Fortress. And BbongBboong needs to win this game if he's going to stay in the tournament. This is only a best of 5. His opponent is up 2-0, so if he doesn't win this game, he is done, and Inori walks away with that 500 Canadian dollar prize. So it is all on the line right now for BbongBboongprime.we. Kind of curious to see if Inori is going to do something crazy this game, or if he's going to just go ahead and play standard again. You know, if there's one thing I guess that's kind of stood out for me in this series so far, and that's that FXOinori has done a really, really good job of keeping BbongBboongprime from seeing what he's doing in his base early on in the game. Both games it's worked pretty well. I mean, last game especially, BbongBboongprime just barely holding off those DTs. He had one spore crawler that was being built as the DT entered his base, and he had to use his drones to sort of body block it. It was very well played from BbongBboongprime, but ultimately later in the game, FXOinori did manage to outplay him. So Inori is going to scout him last, while BbongBboongprime knows exactly where Inori is, I would have to imagine, by now. Actually, he doesn't, but he's going in the right direction. So he'll have a little bit better chance. They'll find each other at about the same time. So I'm curious to see what each player is going to do. Looks like it's going to be a forge first from FXOinori. Interesting that he's putting the forge up here and not down here if he's assigned to do a forge expand. Oh, he actually cancels the forge. What is going on here exactly? He is going to go Nexus first. He scouts. He sees that there's no hatch first, but yet, no hatchery yet. Okay, so he knows it's going to be a speedling expand. Did he scout the speedling expand? I have to imagine he probably did. He did, so he decides to still go Nexus first. Very interesting. Canceling the forge and deciding to do that, putting the forge down next. And so a bit of a risk. I guess we are going to see a bit of a risky play from FXOinori this game, because on a map like this, that's actually, you know, it's big-ish, but it's not that big of a map. Not big enough that you could start a forge and cancel it, then go Nexus first. I think that will present a bit of a risk for FXOinori, but, you know, he's shown himself to be very good with force field so far in this series, so I'd say if any Protoss has a chance of holding this, it's definitely him. But here comes some Zerglings coming across the map. They're not going to be able to do a ton of damage, but they're going to at least be able to get some good scouting information for BbongBboong. They'll probably get there right before this cannon finishes if they don't stop, so they might be able to run up and do some scouting. And yeah, BbongBboongprime getting his Expo up and running, sending some more lings across the map. He does know now that it was a Nexus first. And look at this, probes trying to block the Zerglings from getting in. So again, it looks like he's not going to be able to see in the main base aside from that one observer. Or overseer, rather. Or overlord. Why did I like name every other O unit before I got to the right one there? Wow. Sometimes guys, there's a lot of unit names in your head, and just the wrong one comes out. You know how it is. Alright, so BbongBboongprime, I feel like, I kind of feel like he's feeling that he needs to do some damage here. You know, he knows his opponent did a very greedy opening, won't have a lot of units, and he might try to capitalize on that. And FXOinori, I think, is kind of getting that impression as well, because he is putting down a second cannon relatively early. Probably going to see the Cyber Core right there. Yep, there's the Cybernetics Core. Once he gets an air unit, or a unit that can hit air, he's going to chase the Overlord away. Only one gas right now from FXOinori. Kind of makes me wonder if he's going to add a few more gateways on and not go, you know, like right away for Stargate or anything. But he's still certainly good. Alright, he is going ahead and getting that second gas, so yeah. Might be going for a pretty quick Stargate. Basically, Stargate is the most common opening right now, I would say, in PvZ after a Forge expand, or a variation of the Forge expand. And he'll be glad he put up that second cannon, because there is a good amount of Zerglings coming across the map right now for BbongBboongprime. And the question is he going to be able to get in and do any damage? It's not so much at the natural, but if he can run up and get into the main, I think this is a complete wall-off. And wow, this is actually a complete wall-off too. Nice job by FXOinori putting down 2 more gateways to prevent those Zerglings from getting in there. And I think BbongBboongprime's going to need to pull back. I think he's going to just take too much damage from these cannons. Yeah, and that's exactly what he has to do. He does put up his third base though, so smartly responding to that, say, alright, you're playing super defensive, so that means I can just go ahead and take a third as fast as I want. So he's going to be able to use that, you know, to his advantage a little bit. Warp gate research is being started here. And FXOinori is going to be up to 4 gateways, so he could just decide to go for kind of a sentry-heavy gateway push again as well. He is putting pylon over here at the same time, though, so he might decide to hold some tech, or hide some tech, more or less over here, or he could just be using it to scout for overlords and things like that. Up to 4 gas right now. Probably a few more gas than you would need if you were just going to go for a sentry-heavy gateway combination. So I think we'll probably see some tech out of FXOinori. Meantime, BbongBboongPrime's able to relax a little bit, able to just drone up a lot, get his macro going, and again, you know, just try to do some scouting and prepare for what his opponent has coming for him. Zergling still threatening a little bit, just kind of taking a look at the front there. And it will be a Robo, actually. Okay, Robo and +1 from FXOinori, so he is going to probably move into some Colossus tech then. Because, you know what, guys? Immortals don't do too well against Zerglings. I don't know, this might be a bit of a newsflash, but Colossi tend to do a little bit better. I'm sure this is a very tense moment for these players, though. Evolution Chamber, as we can see here, going up. You know, again, better safe than sorry with that. Good to have it. You can get your upgrades going, and then you can also stay safe against Stargate and Dark Templar tech to a certain extent. And if it gets killed, we'll get to see that like awesome like animal skeleton that's inside it. I really love that. It's like such a cool touch. There's all sorts of little like interesting things in this game if you watch for them. I'm not talking about just nice micro tricks. Observer on the way, a couple more gateways, and a robotics bay as well. Robotics bay somewhere. You'll have to trust me, it's on the production queue. Cybernetics core, doesn't need that. He's got enough sentries to stay safe. He's going to rebuild that cybernetics core anyway. There's a robotics bay. That's going to let him move out of his base here. Alright. And it looks like he might decide to push out. Maybe try to trap a few Zerglings. Do a little bit of damage, possibly. Oh, he's going to try to get in on the sentries. Nice little surround there. He's going to pick off maybe a zealot or two, but yeah, with those stalkers coming in, the Zerglings aren't going to be able to do too much damage. One sentry taking some damage, but he did manage to save all of them there, so that's good. Lair on the way for BbongBboongPrime, producing a lot of Zerglings right now, getting that +1 as well. Getting that Baneling nest too, so BbongBboongPrime, if he can get some good surrounds out in the middle of the map, can definitely do some damage to FXOinori. Oh, getting in there when FXOinori's not paying attention. Forcefield's trying to save those sentries, but it looks like he might lose a couple of them there. More Zerglings coming in right now. And so FXOinori losing a lot of sentries, losing a lot of sentry energy too, which is equally important, but still able to hold that off fairly easily. BbongBboongPrime getting himself behind, and you know what, with the first Colossi popping out, losing that many Zerglings is such a dangerous position for BbongBboongPrime to be in right now. FXOinori might decide to use that to his advantage. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like he certainly might. Thinking about pushing out across the map, I think that's a good decision. Nice thing is that he can warp everything on this side, keep the complete wall off, and still walk the Colossi over basically everything, so yeah. Now of course BbongBboong sees the Colossus and puts up a Spire. He's going to want to get Corruptors out as fast as he can, but I just feel like it might be too little too late. I mean, look at this, he just doesn't have a lot of units right now. He's got a small pack of Speedlings, he's getting his Baneling speed. I'm curious to see if he's going to decide to go for maybe Overlord drops, try to drop something on the Zealots and Sentries as well. But this Spire, I just don't think is going to get there in time. Yeah, and with some cannons there and a Zealot, the Zerglings aren't going to be able to do any pressure. So FXOinori just really outplaying BbongBboongPrime right now. And this could be a bit dangerous for BbongBboongPrime. Colossi getting a little bit early there. The army for FXOinori getting split up in a big way. Here come all the Banelings. A lot of them getting through, though. Zerglings coming in from behind, so not the best engagement at all for FXOinori, but it might just be enough anyway. Ugh. Some decent force fields kept that from being a complete disaster, but FXOinori definitely attacking with a lot less units than he wanted to. He's going to need to micro this Colossi back. Queens do a good amount of damage to them if they have enough. Oh, they're both dead now, so never mind. Baneling nest getting taken out there before Baneling speed completes, and I think BbongBboongPrime is going to go down 3-0 to FXOinori. Not a lot he can do right now. A lot of Zerglings coming in right now. Banelings coming in as well. But, you know, Banelings against Stalkers, not the best thing ever. He does kill about half those Zealots, but it's going to be just too much. Manages to kill one of the Colossi, but, you know, Zerglings just aren't going to do it when it comes to Colossi. He might even actually be able to kill this Colossi off, but, you know, still, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. 22 Zerglings on the way, but there are reinforcements coming across the map for FXOinori as well. Zerglings trying to go after the Colossi, and they're going to barely not get it. Nice Colossi microing that Colossi back with just 7 hit points, and his friend, neighbor Colossi joins him, and that should be it. I think we're probably going to see GG very soon. Looks like he's still going to get that one, but yeah. That is going to be about it. Not a lot that BbongBboongprime can really do at this point. Third base going up for FXOinori. He is producing some flyer units right now. Some mutas are on the way. Not a lot of stalkers out right now, so that is something that kind of goes in his favor. But he's just losing so much right now, though. Inori ahead in supply. Another Colossi coming in. He's going to need some more stalkers, though, so BbongBboongprime might be able to push him back a little bit here. Yeah, losing his natural down to just basically more or less one mining base, as this one is getting a little bit low right now and is way oversaturated. And he's going to move. Is he going to move right up into the main? Oh, very smart decision, warping in some stalkers just as the Mutalisks come in. And yeah, that's just too many stalkers. And at this point, FXOinori, you know, he needs to be a little bit careful about his positioning, but overall, he's in a great spot as far as defending against these mutas go. Maybe wants to split the stalkers up a little bit more, but I think there's just too many stalkers. Yeah, the mutas are going to get taken out. In the meantime, Zealot's having a field day down at this third expansion. GG, there it is, and FXOinori 3-0 against BbongBboongprime.we. Wow, so there you have it. That is lastplayerstanding.com. Sorry about that. Lastplayerstanding.com. Open tournament number 2. FXOinori taking home the $500 Canadian dollar prize. And yeah, really impressing me, doing very well. And as you can see here, I mean, BbongBboongprime's a guy that we see in the GSL a lot, but yet here's this other player that we may not have heard of very often, and he's still able to come in and win. Shows you just how many good players there are out there in Korea. So a very cool tournament. Thanks again to lastplayerstanding.com for letting me cast this. I've had a lot of fun. Definitely go sign up for their next tournament. They run a great website. So I think that's going to be about it for me. If you like my stuff, you can find me on Twitter at DOASC, or you can check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/DOA StarCraft. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks again to lastplayerstanding.com, and see you guys on the next cast.